What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to discuss the Starlink proposition and whether or not Starlink is a good fit for South Africa and whether Starlink will be the catalyst to bring data prices down in South Africa. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know, we family, right? Holler. People, there's something called Starlink. Starlink is the future of telecommunications, right? And that's how it's being marketed. And which is good. Or is it? Good for who? That's the thing. You see, Starlink has been illegally being operated in South Africa by individuals who have superior brain cells to the rest of us because of their ingenious ways of obtaining Starlink illegally and using it illegally in South Africa. How am I saying so? Well, we all know Elon Musk has been touting this thing that South Africa doesn't want his company operating in South Africa because of the racist laws, and that um, the government doesn't want Starlink in South Africa because he's white, and the unjust laws because he has to hand over 30% of his company, right? So that is the basis of his argument. But what Elon is not saying, or what Elon is not revealing, is how his company is having an unfair advantage on the other telecommunications companies. And it's not just the government who's pushing back on Starlink's arrival or proposed invasion of South Africa, but rather there's a lot of things that go into it that need to be hashed out before Starlink can actually be allowed to operate within South Africa. Now, let's not forget one thing. Because our wonderful cupcake-headed, I don't even know what to call Ramaphosa anymore, really. I mean, look, President Cyril Ramaphosa, right? And his merry band of, I don't know what to call them, because at this stage, you know what I mean? I mean, we all know that the ANC are, I don't know what name under the sun we can call them, right? But for some reason, when it comes to outwitting, outlasting, outplaying the DA, they seem to be getting that part right. I don't understand. I mean, the DA know how to govern, they know how to do all these things. They know, the ANC doesn't know how to govern, they don't know how to do all these things. But when it comes to enacting or enforcing or maneuvering, the DA seems to lack, and the ANC always seems to come out on top. How? How? That's a topic for another day. I'm veering off topic here. Sorry for that, right? So here's the thing. So Starlink. Starlink, many people are only focusing on the government's part of Starlink. They're not actually thinking about what the other telecoms giants are saying about Starlink's entry into South Africa or potential entry into South Africa. Now, what is the biggest problem and what is at stake? Okay, Starlink. Starlink is on another level that most people are not even aware of. Most people just think Starlink is another telecommunications company, like every other telecommunications company. No, they're not. So let me explain to you. Before the government even considered Starlink as a potential investor in the telecommunications sector in South Africa, it was the telecommunications giant that sounded the alarm because of unfair business practice or an unfair advantage that Starlink has. Now, what is that unfair advantage? Okay, in 2019, Starlink launched, I think, 7,500 near Earth orbit satellites, which means that unlike the traditional telecommunications giants that we currently have, they have satellites that are further from the Earth, right? So, which means it will take, I don't know, let's just say an extra minute, 2 minutes, or whatever it is to get from one place to another. I'm just giving an example, right? I don't know the exact speeds, right? So, for example, in layman's terms, let's just put it in layman's terms, right? So, let's just say our traditional Vodacom, MTN, and Telecom, they satellites, right? Let's just say they are placed at about, I don't know, 5Ks away from the Earth, right? 5Ks. Or let's just say even, okay, 2Ks away from the Earth. 2Ks. Starlinks is placed at about, let's just say 500 meters. Or let's just put it at 1K. So they got a whole K, a whole kilometer difference between the two of travel time. So which means Starlink has an unfair advantage because their satellites are closer, right? So it will just be from your phone to the satellite and back to the other person's phone when you're sending a message, right? So it'll just be zip, zip. Whereas when you send with the other telecom giant, it's going to be zip, zip. Do you see that? So in this era, in this modern era, 2025, where we have short attention spans and we want things quicker, faster, better, efficient, and ram, a soup, soup compared to a soup, soup is a big difference. Upload speeds. You see, Starlink would just be, whereas our traditional telecom giants are going to be like, because of the, you get what I'm saying? That is the bone of contention that the big giants have against Starlink. That's on top of the government wanting 30% equity in, well, not the government, but they have to have a BEE partner that's going to have a 30% stake in the company, which Elon is opposed to. Now, Elon doesn't have a problem facing off with the other telecom giants because he knows he can easily muscle his way past them. It's the legislation, it's the government that he's got the biggest headache with, right? Because they're the authority. As things stand, the telecommunications minister says amendments to the Telecommunications Act are on the table. Now, why now? Is it because of Starlink? And he said it's not because of Starlink, but it's because they want to improve the telecommunication sector. Now, how is he going to improve the telecommunication sector if you're not bringing prices down? I mean, as it is, airtime is expensive, data is expensive. Do you ever use airtime? It just goes quick. South Africa pays, I think it's one of the highest rates for airtime and data in the world. And it's shocking that South Africa has these high rates. And to be honest, these telecommunications companies have been milking us for years. Since inception, they've been charging us premium prices for the most basic of data packages. Data. I mean, guys, come on. Most people can't even afford to send SMSs and to make phone calls. Like, thank God there's WhatsApp. If you don't have WhatsApp, I don't know how most people will be communicating. I promise you, it will just be, please call me back and forth. Please call me back and forth. Just changing the name, because normally, please call and you put your name there, right? Normally it will be like at the shop. And so you just change your name. You just put, please call, I'm at the shop. And that person will respond. Okay. He respond with another, please call me saying, okay, I'm coming now. Or see you at 11:30. Please call at 11:30. You know what I'm saying? We just be communicating with please call me, and you only have 6 call me's to express yourselves. If you ever you can change your your name with every please call me, or if it's possible. I'm not quite sure how it works anymore. Like I don't know when last I sent an SMS, or you know what I mean. But yeah, that's how I remember when the SMSs first started and people couldn't afford. They would they would change the name, instead of saying please call whatever, they would actually put something in the middle there. So that is what I'm saying, guys. So the, the problem isn't really the the problem isn't really the government per se. The problem is actually the other telecommunications companies that are blocking Starlink from coming in. That is where the biggest hurdle is. You see what I mean? For for the telecommunications company, the biggest hurdle is this sophisticated company with closer satellite access to the earth that's going to make their business either fail or put them out of business, basically, because the upload speeds and the download speeds are definitely going to be a game changer once Starlink comes into play. Do you understand what I mean? Just the distance alone, that I'm not quite sure if MTN and Vodacom and Telcom are going to also invest in near Earth orbiting satellites like what Starlink has. I'm not quite sure, because as things stand, I don't think they're going to be able to match up to Starlink. You know what I mean? Unless they have new technology that can improve the upload and download speeds. And then another thing is, I don't know if Starlink is actually cheap, because what has it like? Jeez, it's like, I don't know. I think they have a starting package of like $100 or something like that, which is basically out of reach for most South Africans. I mean, Starlink comes with a satellite dish. It comes with a whole lot of. So I'm not understanding if Starlink is actually for the people or if it's for a selected few. Because at the prices that I'm seeing or that people were talking about, it's not like Starlink is for anybody. It's like for a certain privileged few. And as we speak now, Starlink is being illegally used by people who are clever enough to go over the borders like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, where Starlink is available. They buy the equipment there and whatever it is, and then they come back and they use it here. So, having said that, if Starlink is allowed to operate in South Africa, what implications is that going to have on Vodacom, MTN, and Telkom? Well, number one, it's going to force them to either upgrade their current infrastructure. It's going to force them to either lower their prices, because if they cannot compete with download and upload speeds, they're going to have to compete on price. That's the only other way they're going to survive, because if they can't compete on the speed thing, then definitely they're going to have to compete on the pricing, because Starlink is not cheap. According to what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, it's not cheap. So if Starlink is not cheap but it's faster and people are willing to pay for faster, then that means MTN and the other competitors are going to have to come down drastically with their prices. That's the way I'm seeing it. Or maybe I'm wrong, you know? And another thing is, like I said in previous videos, if the communications minister is going to lower the entry barrier for Starlink, then they should do the same across the board for every other industry and take away the 30% or whatever they're going to take away for Starlink, because there's no reason Starlink needs to get special treatment. South Africa was doing just fine without Starlink, and I'm sure we'll do even better without Starlink. But if Starlink is going to be the catalyst to bring cheaper prices and stiffer competition, and if they can keep competition low, which I can't see possible because their packages are not as cheap, but if that is going to be the catalyst to make the other competitors within the South African market bring their prices down because they can't compete on speed, then so be it. Then, by all means, Starlink is more than welcome. But at the same time, like I'm saying, the act, the Communications Act, should not be altered, changed, simply because of one company. And I always maintain what's good for the goose must be always good for the gander too. So if Amazon, Google, Microsoft, the big four accounting firms, and all the international banking companies that are here in South Africa, if they can all adhere to the 30% equity, so should Starlink. And if Starlink is allowed to enter South Africa without giving up 30% of its share or equity, then all the other companies that are already operating within South Africa should be allowed to let go of their equity partners, 30% equity partners. And they should also be allowed, afforded the same treatment as Starlink. That is what I think. Guys, let me know what you think about this topic. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know, we family, right? Holler.